What is up, fellas? Today we are doing a different type of video. We're doing something I have not really touched on at all, but it's very, very important. Okay, we're going to be doing a overview of my entire exit strategy for this crypto bull run. So I know I've shown you guys, the buying and the enter strategy I've been doing, but today we're going to be showcasing my exit strategy and my exact plan on how I end up, how I want to be able to lock in profits. Because, at the end of the day, you can do as much buying as you want. You can ride up these tokens as, all the way to the top, but if you're not taking profits, you're not going to make any money. So, yeah, I'm going to be showing you kind of what I think is the right way to be taking profits, what I'm going to be doing. So yeah, let's get into it. I have a lot of stuff to go over. So first of all, I want to bring you to my spreadsheet. There we go. So I might have showed you this, guys, this a little before. Let's zoom in for you guys. So, all right, here's my holdings. I hope you guys can see this. Let me actually make sure. No, you can't. Okay. Let's do this. Alright, so here we go. This is my spreadsheet. Now, what I have each of my positions right here mapped out. And essentially for each of them, I have profit-taking levels where I plan to take profits. Some of them I've already taken profits, like for example, let me actually mark down that I took profits here. But yeah, for example, Aerodrome took profits already at $1.43. We have Solana, sold off all my bag at $1.45. I've sold off a little bit of Chainlink at $23. I've sold off a little bit of Ethereum at $4,400. And, I plan on having these, quote-unquote sell points for each of my coins. So, for example, Ethereum, next sell point, $5,100, then $5,500, then $5,950, then $6,100. And, right here I have the average sell price. It's going to bring me to a $5,400 average sell price and a multiple of returns of 2.7x return on my investment. So, same thing, Chainlink, average sell price, $40, multiple of returns, 5.71x. So, I have this for all my coins. Now, it's not very cut and clear, or it's not very, I don't know what the saying is. I'm blanking, but this is not actually how it's going to go down. Okay, I'm not going to be like, this is not 100% certain. Because the problem with just having sell points, now, the way I made these numbers up, it's not just guessing. It's not just me putting in random numbers and be like, oh, I think Ethereum's going to 7,000. It's more based on market cap and market dominance. But the problem with just having this is that it doesn't actually take into account what the entire market is doing and how the market is performing. So there's a lot of other charts that I'm going to be looking at, and I'll show you these charts right here. That is going to be very, very important to when I take profits and when I'm selling, when I'm putting the finger on the sell button, no matter what. So we have a couple charts that we're going to dive into. So first of all, so good. I need that. Electrolytes. Wow. So first chart, okay, this is a very simple one. We have total crypto market cap. Now, what I think this market is headed towards is about anywhere from a 5.5 trillion to a $10 trillion market cap, total crypto market cap. Do I think it hits 10 trillion? No. But I think it's possible. Now, if we go from last year, 2017's peak, bull run peak, up to 2021's bull run peak, we have a 335% increase. All right. Now, according to the law of diminishing returns, I do not think we see another 335% increase from last year's bull run to this year's bull run. If we did, that would see us at around a 10 trillion, which is why I do not think that we are going to see. This would actually put us at 12 trillion. This is why I do not think that we're going to see that high of number. 10 trillion would be about 234%. I still think that's a huge blow off top. I don't think it's going to happen. I think anywhere from 75% to 100% is a little bit more realistic. And that kind of gives us the 6 trillion target. Anywhere, this is about 150%. That would give us 7.5 trillion. So I think anywhere from like 5.5 trillion to 7 trillion is probably the number. But I'm kind of looking more towards the 5.5 to 6 trillion number. And, you know, once we hit 6 trillion, if we do, I'm going to be taking a lot off the board, and the market is probably going to be very overheated at that point. So that is something to take into consideration. I also am looking at indicators like the MACD on this to see if we still have rising momentum, which we do right now, and the RSI. Now, the thing about the RSI is that we do have this bearish divergence, which is all right, but it's still just something to keep an eye on as we get later and later in this bull run. So yeah, that's chart number 1. Then, obviously with the Bitcoin chart, I'm not going to talk about this too much, but as long as we stay above this 20-day, this 20-week SMA, I think we're all right. Even the 50-week, even though I don't want to go down there. Anything below that, not a good sign. Probably going to be, you know, starting to exit a lot of positions, but I don't see that happening very short term. That's more of a 2026 concern. I think it's probably more likely. Now, chart number 3, Bitcoin dominance. All right. Now, where do I see Bitcoin dominance heading? Now, it's tricky because no one knows, and you know, Bitcoin dominance is its own beast sometimes. And if we did top in June, which I think is likely, I think is very likely, because there's other charts that I'm going to show you that are kind of lining up with this theory. And you know, we have this bearish divergence on the SMAs. I mean, these crossovers. And yeah, it's looking very similar to this 2021 setup. Now, if we did top in June, let's assume that means we have a lower high. All right. Now, what this could mean is that we could make a lower low all the way down here, you know, below this 2021 low. But I don't know if that's going to happen because we did see a higher low from 2017. So what I do think is going to happen is we have this little very slight upwards trend line, going from the lows of 2017 to 2021. And I think we come down all the way, you know, towards this green box. Not guaranteed, but I think we do see that, and I think over time Bitcoin dominance is going to look like this, where it kind of just, it's going to stable out more and more towards this probably 50% level. That's kind of that's kind of how I end up seeing this playing out. But it's a very important indicator to look at mid-cycle, because it's going to show us where we are in the cycle. So once we hit this line, this 54%, I think that's going to be a big turning point. This is our last local low back in December when we had that altcoin pump. Once we go back down there, which I think is inevitable at the end of this year, that is when I'm going to start taking profits. And I do think we'd go a lot lower, but it's a good idea to lock in profits here, because this is where we went in December, and essentially Bitcoin's market cap over here is going to be higher than it was over here because the price is higher. So if we go back down to this level, altcoins will be even higher than they were back here. So that is my strategy in terms of Bitcoin dominance. Now, a couple other charts. First one here. This is total 3 minus USDT divided by Bitcoin. So essentially, this is total 3. So it's market cap of the total crypto market cap minus Bitcoin and Ethereum and minus USDT. So we have those out of the equation. It's pretty much just all altcoins divided by Bitcoin. So they're a performance against Bitcoin. Now what we see here, this overlay is actually the Federal Reserve balance sheet. So I just want to give you guys a visual here. But as you can see, 2017, this is when altcoin season started. 2021, this is when altcoin season started. So we went to these range lows. Now, we didn't quite get there this cycle, but I think we could still, this could still be a bottom. We don't know. We could see a massive plummet like we did in 2021 first, and then we see altcoin season, but we really don't know. So this is also something to definitely keep an eye on. And, you know, in terms of selling, I think once we hit a couple of these key points, like, you know, I do think we are going to see this also at a trend line down over time. But, you know, I do think we kind of get back towards, you know, this level, you know, that we saw over here. So this might even look like a little bit less exaggerated, maybe like this. But, you know, obviously there's no telling. Maybe even like less, maybe like this. But yeah, so once we get to this line, that is pretty much going to be the top of the altcoin season. We could see it come up here, but I doubt it. I doubt we reach those highs that we did in 2021. It's possible, but I don't think that's going to happen. So personally, I think we're probably going to top out altcoin season up at around here at this level if we do reach that, but I will be taking profits before that. So as we start to move up and up and up, even if your altcoins are doing terrible, let's say we hit this orange line, but for example, you're invested in Fetch, right? And Fetch is still doing nothing. You know, maybe it's a signal that Fetch is not going to do much this bull run. And you know, that's just a very raw example. I think Fetch is going to perform amazing, but I'm just saying that these charts are a little bit more of a better indicator than the actual altcoin charts itself, because it's going to show you how it performs against the entire market. And yeah, you know, even if the market's pumping, if all the altcoins are pumping and yours is not, it might be a sign that your altcoin's not going to pump, or at least pump as hard as the other altcoins. So this is a very good indicator. Next chart, another very simple one. We have just crypto market cap excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. Now, as you can see, we're actually not even at a high. We are still below the 2021 cycle top. So I think we still have a lot of room to go in this chart. Now, if we assume that Bitcoin dominance is going to drop to about 40, 45%, 50%, a little less than 50%, you know, I think we're going to see around anywhere from a 2 to 2.5 trillion on this market cap, and I think we still have a little bit higher to go. Honestly, a lot higher. I think this could double, a little bit, even more than double at this point. But I think we're going to see a little bit more of a parabolic run in terms of crypto market cap minus Bitcoin and Ethereum. So this chart shows me that we still have a lot of room to grow. And yeah, I mean, volume increasing. Let's go to the MACD. Looking good. Look at this uptrend. I mean, look at this. That's crazy. We're really looking good, definitely, on the MACD. And I think we have a lot higher to go. So this is just a chart I'm going to be just looking at over time. This is not really a great indicator on when to sell because it doesn't show you how the overall market is performing against each other, but it's a good, you know, way to, you know, it's a good thing to just have in the back of your mind, because right now, as you can see, we're not even at highs. We're not even at the 2021 high. We're a little bit below that. We're pretty much at it, but we're not past it. And you know, you guys know we're going to go past it. You know, there's nothing stopping the market from going past that. So that's another one. Now, this is a very important chart. Next chart, we have total crypto market cap excluding the top 10. Okay, so anything outside of the top 10, that's going to be anything past Cardano. So we have Chainlink, Hyperliquid, Sui, any of these coins, and everything below. And I think it goes down, I think it measures up to the top 200. So all of that, right, and their dominance in the market. So how well they are performing compared to the other coins, you know? And as you can see, we are at a major low. We are towards where we were when altcoin season started in January of 2021, as well as November 2017 out here. So this kind of range right here, we'll call it this to this, very important range down here. And essentially, I think this is the low. Like, you really can't go much lower than this. You really can't. And these yellow lines right here are going to be when this market starts to reverse and, you know, we start heading back towards the mean. So in my opinion, we're definitely oversold. As you can see, we're on the MACD. We're in this negative territory, but we're green. So we're oversold, but we're still building momentum. This is a very bullish MACD setup. I mean, as you can see, look at the MACD over time uptrend, and currently we are in the green while being oversold. So very good sign, and it's a very good sign that altcoins are going to pump soon. But this doesn't actually show sell points. So what I kind of want to do now, once we hit these little targets, that's going to be me saying, okay, market's starting to heat up. Let's see how my coins are performing, and let's start to get out. And if we ever hit this top yellow line, okay, this 17.5%, so that means altcoins out of the top 10, outside the top 10, own 17.5% of the market. Right now, they only own 7.5%. So if we go back to 17.5%, which we did in 2021, I am completely out of the market. All right. Completely out of the market. Now, I know we're making higher lows and higher highs, so we kind of are in uptrend. So we might even be able to pump past 17.5%. We might be able to head towards 20. But personally, if we hit 17.5%, I am 90 to 95% out of the market. Okay, I don't care if my coins are not pumping. I don't care if Sui's only at $5 and it flops. Like, that is the sign that you want to tell yourself, okay, the altcoins can't really run much more. They can't really run much more. It's just not possible. We squeezed everything out of them. So yeah, that's definitely something to keep a look at. Now, if we zoom in, actually, we can see we actually just made a pretty big candle this week. We're starting this uptrend, so we might see a pretty big reversal soon. It depends how aggressive we get, but once we hit this area, this line, like a 13% up to 17.5%, like, this is when I'm really going to start considering taking most of my profits off the board. Even this 11%, we're probably going to see altcoins probably double-ish by here. So definitely a good target to see right here. And as far as this bottom yellow line, this is where I don't want to really take profits, because I know that the altcoins still have so much room. Now, I did take a little bit of profits so far. I'll show you what I have taken profits with. I've taken a little off the board on Aerodrome, only because I'm up almost 200%. I've taken a little bit off the board with Chainlink. I have taken... What else have I sold? Oh, obviously Solana. I bought it around $12. I sold at... Oh, no, I bought it average 15. I sold it around 150. 145, I think I showed you guys. I forgot the exact number. So I'm fully sold out of Solana. I sold a little bit of Ethereum actually as well. And that's it. Everything else I'm riding because mainly of this chart. And we are just not there yet. We're not at the altcoin profit taking point. We're just not. It's not the time to be selling altcoins. It's time to be buying altcoins, in my opinion. So yeah, this is a very important chart. Crypto market cap, excluding the top 10, their dominance percentage. Very important chart to be looking at. Now, one more chart I want to show you guys. This is others slash Ethereum. So others is pretty much same thing as this chart. It's the total market cap of crypto, excluding the top 10. Now we're gonna divide this against Ethereum. So this is their performance against Ethereum. So as you could see, this chart plummeted recently, which means altcoins are not outperforming Ethereum. Ethereum is significantly outperforming altcoins right now. Now, when did we see this last? We saw this October 2020 up to January 2021, right? We had the same exact drop-off. And what did this lead to? This was Ethereum season, when Ethereum started pumping and making new all-time highs, straight into altcoin season. So when this starts to plummet, altcoins usually bottom, and then we see a reversal in this chart, and we see altcoin season. So I fully expect this chart to reverse pretty soon, because right now, as you can see, since 2023, we have been in this uptrend where Ethereum wasn't doing anything, and we had Bitcoin season. This was Bitcoin season all along, and then Ethereum season. Ethereum takes over. Now, next, altcoin season. Altcoins are going to take over. So, very, very, very important chart. I think we could go a little bit lower on the MACD here and make a new low. So I think we could go a little bit lower here on this chart, maybe like a tiny bit. We might go to the range low back in December of 2020. But yes, very, very important chart to look at, because this shows you that we're all the way down here. It's not time to take profits. Even if your altcoins are pumping, it's not, you really shouldn't be taking much profits. And it shows that we have a lot of room to go back up in altcoins. So yeah, I drew that by accident. So yeah, RSI, as you can see, is at an all-time low, like all-time low. We have never got this low. So yeah, in my opinion, I think we could even see a higher high here this cycle on this chart, but it's hard to tell. We might not. So anything past this level around here, this is when I'm going to heavily take profits. But I'm not really concerned about taking profits in my altcoins, when we're down here. It just doesn't make sense. We are still in Ethereum season, and Ethereum is going to be the one leading the market for the next couple weeks, most likely. So yeah, I think Ethereum is going to pump, to a durable all-time high before this chart reverses. And we haven't got that yet. I think we did see an all-time high a couple days ago. I think it broke it by a couple dollars. But yeah, I think once we hit like 5,500, 6,000, that's when it's going to be time for these altcoins to reverse against Ethereum, and we see that transition in wealth, and that the transition of funds into these higher risk coins. First we'll get the large caps. We'll probably get Sui going soon. We'll get Chainlink going soon, even though it's been slowly climbing. It hasn't been outperforming Ethereum, and yeah, eventually it will. And this reversal is going to be very, very important, because when we do see this reverse and go back to the range highs, that is probably when altcoin season is going to top out again, and it's time to sell. So yeah, that's pretty much it. 1, 2, 3, 4. These charts are very, very important. Study these charts, learn these charts, look at them every single day, and yeah, that's my strategy right here. And obviously I told you guys I have my sell points, like Sui I think is going to $15, but I'm not going to be caught up on the number. If, for example, Sui's at $5 and this chart's at an all-time high, maybe Sui was a flop, so that's why it's good to have numbers in mind. It's good to have price predictions, but you need to have conviction in the charts, and you need to understand where the market is, where we are in the cycle, and where we could go, where we're probably topped out at, So these 4 charts are just including Bitcoin dominance, obviously. So these 5 charts really are very, very important to understand and be monitoring. And yeah, that's pretty much my full strategy. Mid bull run, obviously I'm going to be doing portfolio updates in a couple months, when it is time to sell. So I will let you know let you guys know when I am selling, but it's just not that time right now. Even though I did take a little bit of profits off the table. The only reason why I did is because as the bull run goes on, I want to take on less risk and not more. So increasing my cash position a little bit is just kind of what I'm going for. We don't have much. We have like 6,500 ish, not even, in USDC and USDT combined. So not much at all. But I want to just keep raising that as we get closer and closer to the end of the bull run, because we are getting very, very close. In my opinion, we only have a couple months left, 2, 3, 4 months left, maybe 5, and maybe if we go into January. But yeah, that's the exit strategy. Hope you guys got something out of this video. You probably did. And yeah, stay tuned. I'm also going to be dropping a portfolio update in the next couple days most likely, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next